Happy new moon solar eclipse. I'm just guided to freestyle today. So, whatever you see on the title will be what came through. And of course, I'm asking to bring forth the most beneficial messages for you at this time. And I trust that your soul will know that you're here for a reason. I'm recording this on the day of the eclipse. So, even if you find this at a later date, what I was guided to say was that whatever might be going on with you when you find it may have connections back to this specific eclipse cycle or whatever's going on at this time, August 12th, 2026. All right, let's see what we got. There's definitely a lot of energy right out of the gate. Like I'm shuffling really fast, more than normal. So those are all part of the energy. So it feels like something coming in fast, but also the cards felt like they were in chunks. So that also feels like fast downloads, or you might be getting a lot of downloads or a lot of awarenesses, and they might be coming almost in their own book or their own chapter, and you don't have to digest everything right away, but almost like you can ask to have like a spiritual filing system, like an organization system for the downloads, and you'll unpack those at the perfect timing. Okay. Wow, whatever it feels like, it's something that really wants to come through, but it's like it's not ready yet. And those are still gonna stay shuffled, but now the shaman dream deck is coming through, which is usually the masculine collective for me. So, okay, this card has come up multiple times. The perfect storm, the courage to step into life. So it's definitely reiterating something big occurring with the divine masculine collective at this time. I literally was coming on here to do collective masculine feminine. I had no attachment. I'm pretty sure this came up in my most recent eclipse video for twin flames. It also came in on the most recent member video over the weekend. So we're going to just go deeper into this now, but it's very clear that this wanted to come through. Oh, and it's 44. I woke up at 4:44 this morning and I've been seeing lots of different numbers today and just figured I would share that in case that was significant for some of you, which I have a feeling it is. Okay, we're just going to go into this because if you want to go back and listen to the previous messages, you're welcome to do that. I will put the most recent YouTube video here, and you can have links to YouTube and Patreon memberships below. Okay, I almost want to say I think this card came out too. Wow. All right. So this to me is something is opening in the heart of the masculine and something is opening in the mind of the feminine. And simultaneously, it feels like something is opening in the intuition of the masculine in the heart of the feminine. So, really, right out of the gate, I'm seeing that mirroring energy that both the masculine and feminine collective are receiving downloads, higher divine downloads, and as well as having new heart openings. Excuse me. I'm telling you, this energy is coming in fast. So if I'm a little off kilter, it is definitely the way that energies are coming in. It feels like this energy is not embodied yet. This is energy, information, downloads, awarenesses that are coming in as like I'm speaking, right, over this next few days. So we also have the completion of the Lionsgate portal today. We have some meteor showers coming in tonight, and there's also like a six planetary alignment. So, as far as the heavens, the stars, the astrology, there's a lot of different things going on, which no matter what you believe, when there's collective energies like this, the collective is just more open to receiving downloads and information overall. And so I'm going to pull some more on this. Can we get some more clear, direct guidance on what is being downloaded and what is being opened in the heart? Okay. So for the masculine, it feels like, and again, I want to be clear, this can be for your own internal masculine, no matter how you identify. It can be for the masculine, the feminine, the inner union energies. But I am reading for the broader collectives. So just roll with me. I would, the way that I read, I encourage you if to listen to it for yourself, your own inner energies, and the external collective that you might be here watching for. But I also know a lot of you do watch for yourself. This feels like whatever is opening within the heart of the masculine side. And I can't even split them today. It's like, and whatever's happening within the feminine heart side, it's a big mirror point. And both are holding pieces of the seed of what is going to flourish as we move into this next year to 18 months, is what's coming through. So it feels important to work with your internal union energies in your heart, your inner masculine, your inner feminine. We've been talking about this as well, facing those fears and opening your heart up for yourself, but noticing wherever your heart may have been afraid of the feminine, or where your heart may have been afraid of the masculine in the opposing. It could be your own inner energies, like I said, but this is feeling right now where the masculine was afraid of the feminine counterpart, the external feminine. And this opening is where, like, the feminine is realizing there was some fears connected to the external masculine. And as you're allowing this to open and process, you're retrieving more of your own physical human heart and essence. But it's also opening that shared space. What the important part feels like, regardless of how you choose to work with this energy in your life, if you have a divine counterpart or twin flame, you are watching this video most likely because you feel that there is this deep soul connection and soul purpose together, even if you choose not to do that together in the physical world. The energy is most likely still present in your life. And you're here watching this because you are still working with the energy as part of your own embodiment, your lessons, and your gifts and what you share in the world. So it feels important that these heart openings are allowed to happen. Again, if you've been holding back on not allowing this all the way in because you're seeing the feminine is not ready or the masculine is not ready for sacred union in the physical, that's okay. You can still work with and open your heart again, like I said the other day, to deepen your internal union energies, and you become the embodiment of sacred union energies when you are comfortable holding the full bandwidth of the connection and yourself in a tempered way, no matter what the situation looks like on the outside. This is something absolutely that you can work with on the inside. And it feels important because that shared energy, the shared information, the inner union, the sacred union is what brings in the seed and fertilizes it, right? Just like human babies are made by a masculine and a feminine, right? I know that that's more of a male and a female because we're talking about those absolute genetics that create an actual baby. But again, you're working with your own inner energies no matter what to bring your creations forward. And this is speaking about a space where there's still parts that are wanting to be co-created, and for some of you, it will be being co created in your own energy. And for some of you, it will be co created in physical world reunion and union energies. Again, there's not a right or a wrong. This is about what is right for you at this time and moving forward. And it can be something now and it can change in the future. And that's all perfect. But no matter what your situation, you absolutely have the capacity to open your heart and embody sacred union energies in preparation for living in sacred union on this planet. In fact, for some of you, this is the pathway that is going to open that up for you. Okay. Now, for the feminines specifically, but again, we're talking about this deep mirror points. There's something that you haven't been able to see about the connection. And that is saying there's something that the masculine was not able to see either. That is what is getting opened. That's what is being revealed. And it's part of where the shared space or the part that was not open within you in your own energies or between the connection that's appropriate to be opened, of course. And if you're uncertain, you again just ask your higher power, say your prayers, however you connect to the highest energy, your highest timeline, what's the greatest good for you and everyone concerned, and just ask, how can I work with this energy to benefit myself and the collective if that's appropriate? But there is something that was not being seen. What I'm feeling within this is that both the masculine and feminine had to go through lessons. It may still be, but it's like you have to develop, or you're in the process of developing that independent energy. That's the initiation of integrating everything that you've mirrored or learned from one another. But then there is that shared pocket where there might still be some residuals that needed to get worked on, but then there's also deeper gifts of the connection that are wanting to be revealed and opened and worked with, again, depending on how you choose to do that for yourself. Okay. What else do we have with this? Where do we want to go? I did feel the animals wanted to come through. I will tell you, I've had some interesting experiences the last few days with a yellow jacket and with a skunk. A skunk and my cat got into it. So everybody's good though. But anyway, there's just those are a couple that have been coming through that I thought I would share. Oh, and I've been seeing the crows quite a bit more lately, and we obviously have them on all of the cards here today. So that just wanted to be mentioned, and we will see who else wants to come through. And then I'm going to go into a true love message as well. Okay, Scarab Beetle, magic works through you. So this immediately is touching back in on where I said holding that sacred union within you, right? It feels like this is what is being realized within both. The answers that both the masculine and feminine have been seeking have been within them all of the time. But the part that was key that's being needed is that it's actually a piece within them that's a part of one another, that shared space. Something that was planted maybe back during the love bubble, maybe at the time you were born, depending on your circumstances. Most likely it feels like when you were born, but it got activated when you met. That seed was like maybe dormant, and then when the energies came together, it started to rise. And now it's reaching a point where it's needing to go into the ground, right? They're both the masculine and feminine are starting to feel pot bound within the circumstances that they're in and very ready to grow to the next levels. We've been talking about that for quite some time. And over the last few months, it's like what it feels like is if everybody felt pot bound, or most of you felt pot bound back at the end of May, early June. It was like in June when the timelines shifted, we all got pulled out of the pots. And we've been like, okay, where am I getting planted? And this eclipse window feels like where we are going to be landing in a deeper way. And this could be in a specific physical location, but it could just be landing more clearly and deeply within yourself. And this capacity to hold all of who you are allows you to open to holding the sacred union codes more clearly and directly within you and within your connection to the earth and on the earth, and how you share yourself in the world, and how you present, how you show up, how you live is you being you is your purpose. And when you're holding those inner union, sacred union states, you again become magnetic for the things that are aligned for you. You're literally a living embodiment of the magic. The magic works through you, you see? So, for those of you who have felt frustration that maybe the masculines haven't come forward, like things are still being worked on, and we don't know exactly how, when, what, where, who will come forward. Maybe some of you do, but at the same time, what I'm also seeing is because these are collective energies, also how you're presenting and living in the world isn't always just necessarily about that one counterpart or twin flame. It's actually how you interact with the public and how you interact with other masculines and other feminines all alike. And you get to choose how you do that. But everything you've been learning on the journey is part of the magic that lives within your presence in the gifts that you're giving to the world just by being you. Okay. I did want to get one more from the True Love deck. We are getting a lot of the same cards, the manifestation. This to me is really, again, deepening into the answers are inside of you. The energy, the things that are opening up, the inner union, the sacred union. There is absolutely something that's wanting to be opened up. And for any of you who might be feeling a bit of fear around this, a few days ago, I did record a session, um, safe to receive. And there was a lot of thawing that happened within that. So if you're feeling stuck in that area, I'll put that in the pin comment. Also, I'm available next week. I have some sessions available if you want to connect with me one on one. But I've also been deepening into my thoughts around the sacred feminine embodiment and those fears that the feminines are facing are being mirrored within the masculine. And the sacred feminine embodiment for all of us, all humans, feels important because when we look at our world overall, all of us have been robbed of the sacred feminine energies as we've been robbed of the sacred masculine energies. And it feels like more and more of us are embodying more of those energies. And so focusing with that and allowing it to build and really feeling safe to be all of who we are feels like a very, very important piece of the puzzle. In fact, I do plan to do another session, Safe to Be Me. Part of what I've been contemplating about, because this is coming in so incredibly strong, is if I want to do a sacred feminine series of sessions, but also, like I said, the safe to be me feels to be part of a big part of what is holding back the sacred feminine embodiment. So I'm like, do we do a series of safe to be me? Or is that actually a big component of the sacred feminine series? And through this eclipse season, I'm just letting it show me what will be the most beneficial. But with that said, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have a feeling of how you're connecting with this energy. Are you resonating with this idea of feeling like you want to be all of who you are? You want to completely embody into those sacred feminine energies, but you're finding that you weren't safe to do that in the past. And so you're kind of sticking your toe in the water, but a bit uncertain about fully landing. Or when you've done it in the past, people ran away, or just the things we've experienced through past lives with like the witch wound or using our voice or not being able to, like the abuse and the ridicule and the disrespect that has permeated, well, humanity in general. But when we're talking about the sacred feminine energies, there's different fears that surface with the feminines than with the masculines. I do believe that there are mirror points. The way that the masculines have been abused and used, I've seen it myself. It just surfaces different in the feminine system than it does in the masculine system. But the thing is we all of us, no matter how we identify, we came from a female ancestor and masculine ancestor in our mother and father biologically. And of course, so then we have all of those genetics and all of that information in our bodies, in our cells, in our epigenetic makeup, no matter how we identify, no matter what your gender is or sex or whatever, we all hold literal genetics from a man and a woman. And so you can be a man who has fears from your female ancestors running in the background, and you're not even necessarily aware of it. And same for a female feeling her masculine ancestral line fears. So again, it's just coming in very specific for the feminines at this time and very specific fears to overcome, to resolve, to fully embody in a new way. Okay. So, again, I would love to hear from you. And I hope that you found this message supportive and helpful. I know it's really hitting home for me that this is clear, that this is like the topics they want us focusing on, our higher selves, our souls. There's something deep wanting to open and expand within you, within us, within our magic. And I've also said that a lot of times this has come through on many messages where the feminines have done what was asked, and then there's that sadness or frustration or misunderstanding around why is the masculine not coming forward. And it's also coming through very, very strong that a big part of this is there's a lot of gifts and a lot of beautifulness within the feminines that hasn't even been tapped into yet, that's wanting to awaken, that's wanting to blossom. And this feels deeply connected to unraveling those deeper fears of sacred feminine embodiment in its fullest form so that those gifts can come forward in a new way. And whenever I tap into this energy, I get super excited because I can feel that it's things that we don't even know exist within us yet. And to me, that's sort of really fun and exciting. And to open that for yourself first so that you can get to know those parts of yourself is really sacred and beautiful. And I think important. All right, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate any of you that stayed with me till the end. I know this probably got a little bit long. As always, I always appreciate your comments, your shares, your likes, your subscribes, and your energetic exchange. Sending you so much love and a beautiful rest of your eclipse day and night. Take care. Bye.